What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. If this is the first time you found one of our videos, I encourage you not just to subscribe to the channel, but also hit the thumbs up icon. That way YouTube knows that you're interested in Saints content, and that way you can find our podcast as well as others a little bit easier. We're going to dive into some minicamp news. We got injury updates. We got training camp or minicamp battle updates and all sorts of stuff to get to, but we're going to start off here on the injury front. We got some good news. Dallin Holker, he was seen participating today at minicamp after being sidelined during OTAs with a minor injury. So it's nice to see the tight end get back out on the field. I'm very high on this player. I think that he is a quality tight end out of Colorado State. The Saints brought him in as an undrafted free agent last year. They viewed him as an extra, like, 8th-round pick, if you will. And he did get a little bit of run last season after the tight end room was decimated by injuries, and it's still dealing with some of those injuries. So getting a player back like Dallin Holker certainly makes you feel a little bit better about the tight end room. But we're not done talking tight ends. We got to talk Taysom Hill, because yesterday he was present at practice. However, today he was not present. And for what it's worth, yesterday he wasn't doing any drills. He was just on the sideline, hanging out, watching. But from all the reports that I've seen today on July 11th at 4 p.m. Central Time, unless something changes after I push this video out or after we film this, he was not at practice. So it is worth knowing or worth monitoring that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, Taysom Hill, he's a class act. He's a great football player. I'm not totally worried about whether or not he's around for mandatory minicamp, just being on the sideline. I think it's going to be fine. But in terms of an injury update around him, we talked about it yesterday. No big timelines on when he will be able to return, but he says he's feeling good. So we'll have to see when he can come back. Again, it's an ACL injury, knee injury, so we definitely don't want it to be rushed back. But in terms of Taysom Hill injury update, good, but not great, if you ask me. Jonas Senker, he also was not present today at practice, according to reports. For what it's worth, he did have a pretty solid day yesterday, picked off Spencer Rattler in 7-on-7 drills and had a really athletic play with it. So I'm not totally sure why Jonas Senker wasn't there. We will find out soon, but at the time of filming this video, he was not present, and I think that that's something definitely to monitor. I'm really excited about the player Jonas Senker is, and I think that he can definitely provide a lot to the Saints defense. So hopefully it's nothing too crazy. Hopefully it's just a random attendance he's missing, and, you know, we don't have to really stress about this. Kool-Aid McKinstry, let's talk about him, because he actually had a really, really strong practice today. He had a really good day, and he's honestly been having a really nice summer thus far at OTAs and early stages of minicamp. The reports have all been very, very positive around him. Today, the Saints did a lot of red zone work, and he actually had back-to-back pass breakups during that portion of practice. He's been getting targeted a lot throughout the summer, so he's been getting a lot of work. He's been getting a lot of attention, and that only can mean good things for a player like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm very high on this player. Saints traded up in round 2 to go and get him, and some people in the live chat were saying that the Saints should try and trade Kool-Aid. I think that would be so stupid, and for what it's worth, I think if you can get Kool-Aid McKinstry to prove to be a great cornerback, you are set up for really, really good success, especially with Quincy Riley and Rico Payton and Alontae Taylor in the fold as well. I'm excited about this player. I really want him to work out here in New Orleans. So his development is something that I'm definitely monitoring, and how he's used in Brandon Staley's defense is, and how he looks in Brandon Staley's defense. I'm very eager to see it on Sundays. Now, coming up, we're going to talk about some position battles, because we got to talk about the quarterbacks. We haven't really talked in great detail about the QB position. So today we're going to get into the nitty-gritty around the quarterbacks and some other stuff. But really quickly, today's show would not be made possible if it weren't for our awesome friends over at Chubby's. I absolutely love Chubby's gear. I've been rocking their stuff since I was back in high school, through college, and now even in my early post-grad life. Summer's here, which means it's officially time to let the dogs out, and by dogs we mean legs. And if your pups have been stuck in jeans or sweats for the last few months, fellas, it's time to set them free with Chubby's shorts. Check out the Line Swim collection or the Chubby's original stretch shorts. Chubby's biggest sale of the year is on, which means $45 bottoms both shorts and swim trunks, and up to 65% off select gear. It's the perfect time to donate your decade-old shorts and refresh your drawer. Give your legs the summer they deserve. Life's too short for uncomfortable swim trunks, so these babies are set up for all-day comfort with the quick-dry stretch fabric and built-in liner that actually does its job. No more chafing, no more soggy butt, no more mesh disasters, and I told you about those stretch shorts. The original stretch shorts are second to none. Check out this video. I want you to see the flexibility I got here. I mean, first of all, the shirt looks great. The bend, the squat, hold on, the leap. Look how good those chubby shorts look. I absolutely love mine, and you can get some too. Don't wait any longer. Click the link in the comments and description of this video. Go to chubbyshorts.com/chat. For a limited time, shop Chubby's biggest sale of the year for $45 shorts and up to 65% off select gear. Hit up chubbyshorts.com and grab your favorites before they're gone. And hey, if you missed the sale, don't sweat it. You can use our exclusive code CHAT. That's code CHAT for $20 off. Support the show. Let them know we sent you when the survey asks. And get ready to turn some heads. Summer's here, squad. Dress like it in Chubbies. Alrighty. You know what gives me a chubby? Talking about the quarterback. That was bad. That was so bad. I tried to have some fun with it. I couldn't get through it. All right, we're talking quarterbacks because the quarterback battle, for what it's worth, I really do think either way, where the jury's going to be out for a while on whether or not these guys are great quarterbacks. But it is worth noting both these players, Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough, can absolutely spin the pill. These players have great arms. They have really, really nice deep balls, giggity. And honestly, I've been really impressed with the clips I've seen early in social media. I don't really care that some of these have gone out of bounds and stuff. Appreciate a nice throw. You can clean some of this stuff in training camp. It's June. Come on. We don't start at football until the fall, so it's okay. Ross Jackson reporting the best throw of minicamp today in day 2 came from Spencer Rattler on a great ball to Dante Pettis on a corner route. Really nice ball placement. Spencer Rattler needs to really prove and really dominate this quarterback battle if he wants to beat Tyler Shough, because I do believe Tyler Shough is the guy who Kellen Moore is looking to start week 1. But don't rule out Spencer Rattler. He's been impressive so far. He built a lot of momentum in OTAs, but so did Tyler Shough, and he's continued that momentum, and he's honestly starting to really look comfortable and starting to really show what he's capable of in New Orleans. It hasn't been a lot of big, deep tests. It hasn't been a ton of massive highlight type throws, but it's been very situational. It's been very important to see how the teams look and how they look in certain, I said situations already, but look how they look in situational football on 3rd and 3s and they need to get 4 yards. 1st and 10s, 4th and 1, in the goal line, or on the goal line, in the red zone. These are things they've been working for, and Tyler Shough's arm continues to stand out. Even in incomplete passes, he pushes the ball downfield with seemingly little effort. It is impressive. Ross Jackson saying it. I'm saying it too. I think that Tyler Shough thus far has been impressive, but don't go and run with this and say, oh my God, Trizzy Trace thinks Tyler Shough is going to win us a Super Bowl. That is not what I'm saying. In the early portions, he's looking solid. Still has a lot to prove, still has a lot to learn, but so far, I would say so good. The question now is who will take over and when? Because in my opinion, at training camp, the QB1 needs to be at least really, really separating themselves. And Kellen Moore has to have a strong sense of who he wants to be the starting quarterback. So again, my question is not only who will take over, but when. Because if you keep this quarterback battle, which for what it's worth will continue for a while, if you let this drag on too long, then you really run the risk of both players, you're not really getting the great development as a QB1 because they're not spending a lot of time with the first team. They're moving back and forth a bunch. So I want to see somebody take over, and I want to see it happen soon. And for what it's worth today, Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler continue to be fairly even. They have been back and forth, been doing some really good things. And for what Kellen Moore is looking at in terms of how to separate these two guys, he's looking at execution and decision-making in certain situations. But in situations. So we'll have to see who decides to separate themselves. We'll have to see who decides to just take it upon themselves to be the starting quarterback. Because the splitting reps thing, I get it. I understand why you're doing it, but you can't continue to do this deep into the preseason. You got to have a strong sense of who your guy is, because then you can maximize training camp, you can maximize joint practices, you can maximize the preseason, you can maximize everything to truly benefit your team the most in the first year, in a very important year, in an important time where the roster and the Saints are rebuilding. I think it's important for the New Orleans Saints to find their quarterback and let those two guys separate themselves. They're both still They're both still rotating with the first team, so none of them have really taken the reins yet. But in terms of when does the real battle start, I'm going to say training camp. I know I said I need Kellen Moore to have a strong sense. You can still have that strong sense, but the battle will truly begin when training camp gets going. That's when things really start picking up. That's when the steam really gets going. That's when the pressure is truly on, because then you also have joint practices with the Los Angeles Chargers, which could be greatly beneficial to this young quarterback group. So in terms of who will start week one, I'm not totally sure who it'll be. My personal opinion, I'm leaning towards Tyler Shough, but I also, like I said earlier, am going to say do not sleep on the rattlesnake. Who do you think will be the starter week one under center for the black and gold? Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, get in the comments, and I want you to type their initials down below. Let's talk kicker competition. Special teams, special plays, check, 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 check. Shout out to Sketch. Kicker competition's been interesting. Day one, we saw Blake Grupe go 6 for 6. He hit a long of 61 yards. Charlie Smith, he got some work. 5 for 6. He was good from 61 yards as well. And Nick Underhill saying that the 61-yarder that Charlie Smith made would have been good from 71 yards. Unbelievable. I said this in yesterday's video. I think the edge is with Blake Grupe because he spent more time playing American football. He's more familiar, and he's more polished in that regard. But Charlie Smith, man, the Irishman has a freaking cannon for a leg. So I think this is a real battle to watch. We'll see what happens. Maybe Kellen Moore decides to go with Charlie Smith over Blake Grupe, or maybe Blake Grupe runs it back. Both guys looking pretty solid early in minicamp. Aaron Summers adding this report. This is just hilarious. This is so damn funny. Got to just say, shout out to Kellen Moore for making Saints football fun. It just seems like they're having fun again. Justin Reed and Devon Godshaw, the safety and the defensive tackle, both Louisiana natives, lined up to kick field goals. For what it's worth, pretty funny. Justin Reed, he went 1 for 2. He made an extra point and then missed like a 40-something yarder, but barely missed it. Devon Godshaw, you see it, didn't really even get off the ground. They're having fun. I got to say shout out to Kellen Moore for giving this team some energy. Fun team building stuff that you can just laugh about, have some camaraderie, and, end practice on a fun, positive note. I'll say this, the special teams battles are worth monitoring. Justin Reed, I don't think is really going to be getting real kicker reps. For what it's worth, though, he has kicked in the past. He has 16 kickoffs for over 1,000 yards. He's 1 for 2 in his career for extra points, I believe. And yeah, I think that that him just working out as the emergency kicker is hilarious. Maybe they use it. I doubt it, but maybe. I hope not. But not just the kicker battle, the punter battle is worth monitoring as well. Matthew Hayball and James Burnip, the Aussie punter out of Vanderbilt, Matthew Hayball, that was signed as a UDFA last year. James Burnip, the Aussie punter out of Alabama, they signed this year, who's huge, by the way. Both those guys are going at it. I'm excited to see how special teams shakes out. I know it's kind of crazy to say, but it is an important facet of the game. Final thoughts here. You can definitely tell there's a difference between Kellen Moore's team and previous coaches' teams. And specifically, I mean the Dennis Allen regime. Because the Sean Payton, and the end of the Sean Payton, I would say, end of the Sean Payton era, Dennis Allen era, it just wasn't amazing. It was fine. It was amazing, though. Kellen Moore's having fun with his team. He's participating in these team-building activities. He was out there playing paintball with the guys. They're doing fun things after practice. There's more energy. There's more speed. There's more team-building activities going on. They're playing a patient game of football, and the brand has been showing a very patient mindset as well. And what I mean by patient is they're not trying to fix all of their holes and fix all of their problems right now. They're not in a hurry trying, oh my God, we need a wide receiver. We need this, and we need that. They're not trying to panic and make a bunch of moves. They're being smart. They're letting the game come to them. They understand this is not a one-season rebuild. This is a multi-year thing, and they started this rebuild off pretty strongly, if you ask me. It felt like Dennis Allen was always rushing to put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, whereas Kellen Moore, he's keeping it calm, cool, and collected. He's being methodical, and it feels like there is a reason and a method behind the madness for me. So in that regard, I'm excited that Kellen Moore is my head coach. He's been impressive so far. And honestly, just go watch him talk to media. Go listen to him when he first got hired versus now. He seems a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident behind the mic too, which is pretty cool. Must be watching some Saints Now by Chat Sports. Hope you guys are enjoying today's content. I hope you guys enjoy your evening. Without further ado, my name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. That right there is my guy, Loco Lopez. Be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.